let's start off with I hate insurance.
Oh, yeah, everybody does. I hate insurance.
We all hate insurance. But, man, it's tough out there right now.
It really is, man. Insurance is one of those things where you hate it until the day you need your insurance company to do something for you. And then if your agent did their job right, they get to walk in and, wearing a cape and riding a white horse or whatever. So,
well, I've got a $75,000 roof on a historic house that we're doing right now that, the check cleared. So
there you go, man.
So that was a good part of it.
Yep.
We had big storms in DFW this week. Woke up to first time in 20 years. Actually had to put my kids in the little safe room.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about, and then I had a buddy talking about, one of the roofers, a good friend of mine. He goes, yeah, people are screwed, man. They didn't have wind coverage, and there was no hail. This was just straight line winds. And I was just like, I didn't even think about that. But no, there were no tornadoes. There were no hail. It was just straight line winds.
Yep.
And a lot of people in Dallas don't have wind coverage. What?
I'm just,
it's such a scam, man.
It is a scam because all I'm thinking about is like all those like Katrina people that were like, hey, I have hurricane insurance. Yeah, but you were flooded. The flood came from the hurricane. Did it though? It's like, come on now.
Well, the problem with, Harvey, for instance, in Houston, it wasn't the hurricane that got people. It was the fact that high pressure system stalled out, and you literally had Tropical Storm Harvey just sit on top of Houston for 3 days, which caused all the rains and everything. But anyways, it was 2017. I don't want to go that far back, but to your point, Tim, it's that kind of policy without just jumping straight in.
No, we should
sandpaper condom this thing in the episode. It's man, there are good policies and then there are trash policies that don't do what the policyholder thinks they're supposed to do. And I literally have never in my 13 years of doing insurance ever sold an X-Wind policy without discussing it with the client of, hey, here's what the policy does, here's what it doesn't do. If you want to save some coin, we can go this other route. But we always have a standalone wind policy. And anytime we write an X-Wind policy, it's because the underwriter makes us, because it's somewhere on the coast,
right,
or somewhere like New Orleans, for instance. We insure several hundred properties in New Orleans, thanks to a couple of lenders we work with over there. But man, a lot of those insurance carriers in Louisiana want to write X-Wind coverage, meaning it covers everything excluding wind, and you have to go out to the marketplace and find a wind-only product to make the client whole. Man, that's a giant pain in the butt. But up here, I didn't even realize that people were writing X-Wind policies in North Texas. I haven't heard of that in North Texas. That's wild.
I think people start trying to save money.
Yeah.
Insurance costs are hard.
Out of control, man.
They probably don't understand what they sign up for.
And their agent's not volunteering all the information because they want to sell a policy.
And I was going to ask you my next question, even though, like you said, I hit you with the sandpaper first. Is there like a online guide? Is there an almanac? How does the normal investor understand what coverage they need or don't need?
Yeah. And
it's youtube.com/riskwell. And we got you covered there.
Well, but just to tag that question, because as an investor or as we already have so many things we got to think about. Like, what color does the house to be? The comps, this, that, the money, all those aspects. Do I get the right GC? Is my GC screwing me? Who's screwing me? Because everybody's out to screw each other. When I want insurance, I just want insurance.
Yeah.
I just want the insurance, that the right insurance is in place, that if there's a fire, if there's a flood, if there's a wind, if there's a tree, that I get my money back. I can pay off my lender, and I didn't waste my time.
Yep.
That's the most frustrating thing when it comes to insurance. It's like, I'm not an insurance professional. I don't know what boxes I need to check. And if I check all the boxes, guess what? I made no money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do I prevent that? How do I make life easy?
The way that we encourage people to approach the whole conversation, everybody thinks about, can I get a quote? Can I get a quote? Can I get a quote? And there's some value to that in some areas. Like personal homeowners, for instance, personal auto is so commoditized, man. It's almost 100% commodity at this point. I sold off our personal lines division of our company because we realized, and you guys can appreciate this as business owners, in February of last year, we made the decision to sell because in our year-end calculations in 2022, we realized that personal insurance was 18% of our revenue and 60% of our service volume. And our profit on that part of the company was basically a wash after I pay my people and I have my fixed overhead. And the reason for that is personal insurance is basically a game right now. It's just race to the bottom. Most of the good companies, pick your company, doesn't matter. State Farm, Farmers, Allstate, Travelers, Safeco, USAA, whatever. If you have a reputable company, they're almost interchangeable parts. There's not really any compelling reason to pick one company over another in the personal insurance space. Now, on the commercial side of things, on the real estate investor side of things, oh man, it's the Wild West. There's a lot more moving parts. There's a lot more things you need to take into account. Do I get this? Do I skip that? What limit should I have for this thing over here? What kind of exclusions are there on my policy that my agent may not be proactively telling me about? All that stuff is confusing as hell for most people. And what I think, and I'm supposed to look into this camera right here, what I think is really important, there's my go. I'm looking right at the camera right now. I love your setup here. This studio is fantastic. It's so important to pick the right people first, because the thing I hear so much from our clients is, I don't know. I want to pick an agent and have them tell me what I need to know. I don't know what I need. Tell me what I need. Make it a good price. Let's make this happen. When you go out to the marketplace and you drop into DFW Real Estate Investment Group on Facebook or whatever, pick it, and you say, hey, can I get a quote? You're doing it all wrong, man. You're doing it all wrong. Start with the agent, start with the advisor, and ask them the hard questions. Hey, what do I need to know about this? Tell me about your office. What companies do you represent? What are the common challenges you see for real estate investors in the insurance marketplace in North Texas? Put the grill to these agents and make them earn the right to go out and be your representative, because if you pick the right agent first, the whole insurance game is so much easier. Vet them like you would any other professional advisor, your CPA, your banker, your financial advisor, your attorney. Treat your insurance agent just like one of those other white-collar advisors. The whole thing is a lot easier.